Yare da noji re da le abo de ya ne.
So as usual, we should begin with fully relaxing our body.
Da le de no de da se zumba se abo ko du nyan de na ne be abo shin de som ji de do go ni.
And at the same time, it would be really wonderful if our mind is also, finds peace and relaxation.
So
when the both the mind and the body is at peace and at rest, then it will then give the persons who possesses this the mind and the bodies, and this person who or this self or the I who possesses this mind and the body, so it also find the peace and happiness and really the give that the same effect of the peace and happiness for that persons. So just as the persons will find a true peace and happiness, when while the person is sitting and when the person enjoy the very peaceful and relaxed state of mind. So in same way, if the person also possess the same kind of very peaceful and relaxed state of mind when person like go somewhere or do some things, so then we'll also have the same peace and the effect on the persons. So therefore we can see this very intricate relationship between this, how the person and the mind and the body that is it's possessed by or is the person is constituted of.
고자 거라지 가빈 나바던 점을 정게 고자데 때때는 그 세종부터 걸 제용과래 마도 때나 시 반저선은 한 먹어 되면 나보대니 뭐가 나바대 된게서는 뭐죠 코도 가빈 나바대 되 그니 시 반저선은 한 먹어 나 뭐게 나바던 코에 그네 터제 존하지 알아 되니 대응 용어라 가셔야들 그 용어면 돼. 대응한 손은 거건 돼. 세서 뭐 저전 내가 내다. 손은 되는 거건 돼.
So we can, if if you observe our own experience, we can see how when we are mentally, when when there is a peace and happiness, then the same peace and happiness would be also expressed, even physically, even that you can see that such person then even always always even his or her face will be radiant with always with smiles, and there's some expression of happiness you can see in the face of the persons. So therefore, it's we have to examine the what's the causes, what's the main forces or the causes that brings these kind of different experience to the people. For example, we could have to say two persons, and then while one person can be such expressing in the seemingly very joyful and looking very happy, whereas the other could be in a very bad mood or in a very unhappy mood. And so if we check the main cause, the main factor for this, and then we can we can understand quite clearly that the factor is not necessarily the material conditions in terms of who's got the more wealth. So it is not the case. Obviously, it's not the case that a person who seems to be very joyful, very happy, not necessarily the case that he or she is rich, wealthy. So in fact, can be the other person who doesn't seem very so joyful and happy, could be even richer than the other persons.
That's on that. That's on the tattoo. That's on the tattoo. So no ten cover. That's the charge. Young gore. So logic on cover. She suggested that Guzan Gamma to the Zot of Man, and also younger yard. She suggested to you on the gym to one tongue yard. Tobate is sad cigarette.
Sometimes doubt would arise, or that why, the people who have a better outer conditions, live a very affluent living conditions. We have a doubt why we would even ask this question. Why, why they can't be happier, or in another word, we feel that even there will be doubt that if we would feel that if we have those good conditions, we maybe even would have bring more smiles and more happiness in our life.
Bena shoke money pe pa yapo than chichi gaga de ro guna tawachil chi donation is in kara channel that didn't said that long the car sen shiro yin cheba so jigti ko dhyana chi yungo yara cheba ko chagare tene ma long do da chen de ade yela running get regundo is that some tentona de yapon de wa no say shibiga ngone shoke 대하냐 되게 근날 대하는 당한저 뇨뇨 되니 용거래 근날 안저 세 시보세 헬레 서보시니 파니나 shoke 알로걸 세 시체를 대셔를 나 용거래 당한저 하고야 녀네래 이자 손을 들리더라 야분도 와야 there are a number of our occasions. So where when we meet with the very
good external condition, good circumstance, good conditions, then there we will be get very excited, and there's really a sense of some joy and pleasure. We will express that, and so such as even sometimes when we are in companion with the right persons, where there's some sort of, just because of that we will experience, feel some sense of happiness and joy. And so however, if you look into this, the cause of our joy and happiness, if the cause is really entirely depend upon those just the external conditions, upon the other outside factors, then we can quite easily we can recognize that then how transient and how fleeting and how easily we can lose that. For example, we can observe in our own real life situation how we can see like there's two people who in the morning they might be getting along really well and enjoying each other companion, but however then due to certain condition in the at night, then they lose that friendship, and then they might be having there's no joy and happiness, rather sufferings in their companion together, and so therefore why we lose that, at night when you don't have that is because the kind of happiness or pleasure, that joy that you found in the morning. So it is really completely depend upon the outer condition, depending on the being with that your the other persons. So therefore, on the other hand, if it's something, the kind of we can also talk about the joy and happiness. Something not so much entirely depend on the outer factor, outer condition, but rather something which we experience, which we draw from within ourselves, inwardly. So when we have that kind of joy or ability to gain that kind of joy, then we can be as happy as we are happy in the morning, and then we can be also happy at night, and then similarly when we wake up in the morning, also can be happy. So therefore there is we can see the difference between the happiness which depends on the outer factor, so which is more very unreliable, and whereas that which we produce from within ourselves on a mental level, so that we can say is more reliable.
Yeah. 다 손을 들려서도 대령이 저를 찔라 너징이 제가 알아 만도스 대한테 생들이요 영입들이요 말해서 대라고요 대라니 나도 대 내수연 게지 거로 다라다 주보 그냥 가셔서 샤서되네 계실라 저러세 대한 생들이요 생입들이요 대ങ്ങൾ 쉬우치 패생도와 내가 그런 내세요 할때 다 진리신데 가도 진리잖아 당하도 고자세 세세들 가도서 세대세다 세대세 쪼쪼등 가도지 너 생들이 요거와 세 특제도네 특제 존레존이 요거 대장가서 원하지 태요와 근데 너만하지 샤는데 골 돈이 저거 알아지도 말을 왜 해지도
So usually, I advise that the true happiness lies within ourselves, within our mind, and so just to share this the story of someone who I know very closely, and who took that advice into practice, and then this person went through a stage of life where got separated from a close friend, and then the later on, so he acknowledged or mentioned to me that how this putting this piece of advice into practice, how that has really he found it very beneficial. So therefore it is we will find just by like such the learning about and the engaging the meditation practice, and said as we find or recognize how such there's a happiness lies within our mind, and as we begin to understand that and then take that understanding into our real practice, and then we will truly see the benefit of the practice.
Kanga yebiniga tela son toju zomba de se manjo ebuji ne to ya teng nga sam to ga ro te kar sena manzo te me ri sena ma me ri sena ta ma sen ma le cha ya no zo nga se ri ma dia se ma dia nga se ma dia mo yung go ya ra se madya se nyombare se nyombare tin se ya mar den yel madya na ma ka din na chi yo den na chi ken den wa te kar sana no se ga ta dunga da se ga madya da no to che yung wa no to mo che le ga den madya mo che yung wa dang ma du son ko ko then same Madazanga, not the Kazaban near to that. Kazi shoot to a death or you says Sabo Yumado, says Shabo Yuman, some of the social son of Zona, the yes, other thing, Tonchila Yum Kazit, and the result. That's on the day to go the other year.
So the in generally speaking, so as a human beings, with a having the mind and the bodies, and then if we we will notice that between the mind and the bodies. So we overall we go through the sufferings and the misery more on the mental levels. There's more sufferings there, and and then so it is on the, and also so this shows that it is how this our experience is of life is more primarily predetermined by our like mental outlooks or mental attitudes, and so just as how through certain way of thinking, certain mental outlooks, as it kind of bring sufferings in one's life. And can because of certain mental attitudes, we can lose our peace and happiness. So likewise, we can also see there's a potential that by the now changing our mental attitude into something more like a positive, more wholesome way, then at the same time, then we can, in that way, we can actually resolve a lot of like a conflict, and eliminate sufferings and problems in our life. So therefore, the of course, when we talk about the problem on the mental levels, of course, we don't necessarily be implying that our mind is actually have become like a abnormal or completely abnormal or a disorder, some mental disorders or some like a going insane. So we not necessarily be saying that when we talk about mental problems. So what we're talking about here is how when we look into develop the more understanding of our mind, then how we can see all these if our mind is not checked, then how it kind of we produce so much like a thought, conceptualizing thoughts and continuous, and we can see there's as if we don't control those thoughts, then it can, and because of these, then we can when mind or the head completely filled with this kind of all this disturbing thought, then we lose the clarity. Not only lose the clarity of the mind, which means that we cannot think properly, but also then become very sometimes can be very agitated, very disturbed, and through this way it kind of built in results in building in more the mental stress, tensions, and even turmoils inside. And so therefore, on the other hand, now if we by recognizing this, if we are able to diminish such this the unending, like such a very busy mental activities, especially these very conceptualizing thoughts, as we diminish these very agitated and very wandering thoughts, then the effect is that it's bringing more, enhancing more like a stillness, and then through this stillness, then there's more clarity. And so when that is there, then the person and then we can enjoy more. Brings the joy and happiness from within.
다 손은 때도 이 다제 저런 손도 안 손도 강갈 때 손은 공거래. 랑 기반 전에 로프스원 대바도 용거도 와. 로진의需求가 되가. 대도죠 로프스바 로니 지로프스바 냉개지거든. 저는 대바질래 용거. 대래 용거는 로진의 되게 해거든. 다 대자용 된게나 큰로용 된게나 차도용 된게 레세용 된게나 맞아용 된게 다 들리지 다 만도거든 지가 다 강용 건데 지가 대고 다 시대 가와요 시대에서 그런 하나도 시대에서 좀 맞다니 뭔데가 지 걸어가 냐모 지고 다 시대 상황에서 가와요 농가 chen 문두가 사자 문두가 다 시대 거사 농가 강 까자 시대 강 까자 또 까자 이제는 다 시대 가요 다 시대 뭐요 하대 다 나도 파다고 해야 돼 다 손은 세도를 파래 문두가 근저 사사지 예야 되네 근저 사는 뭐 돼야지 용거야 돼 근저 사는 코래 뭐 돼야 롱지 근저들인데 다 예원라 면행하러 잡아신 일뭐 돼야 용거 안다 대원 좀 되네제 예 코를 뭐 돼야 예들라 매비가 롱지 제지 잡아들인데 다 예프 수바지 통을 덜 못대비가 라 못대비가 못대비로 덜 쳐도서 다 쳐도래 얘라 못대 용한테 바로 받으래 먼저 서서 지드래 다 대도 대지 된지다 선도 이다 내 다들 시한데 된지 선도는 아주 다 시대 고가나더라고요 말에 다 선도 대도니 된지가 또 말이야래 아저씨 까마치 까마니세라 그래 등 온도 마도아제 파과들은 다시 대도나 아주 시대 소화지 용어들 다 선도 된지 또 그래 다른 건 고자도 아주 내 피바나 싶지 용어야 서 라테나 뭐뭐지 거래 녀모 된지 지 공화의 시대 번도세요 말이야 대제 바바바지 관에 새다 농 미바지라 또니 콜반 짐바 지라 리신 컬레 녀레 콜라진 디거다 싫어 제베다 또바 송아선 강가지 거네 되네 또바 강가 마셔네 되네 제대 지용고 되와이자 아 손으로 되는 도나 되는 돈다 고자 있는 것은 되는데 레제 고자 기바선다 손 되는 도게 돼
So in order to see the benefit of the meditation practice and then be or to be inspired to or motivated to apply the practice in our life, then it is very important then to actually to understand the key purpose of the meditation practice. You know what the focus or the goal of our meditation practice. So the purpose of meditation practice is to overcome the source and the cause of our everyday life, like problems and the sufferings from within ourselves. So we're not with the meditation practice. So we're not trying to focus is not on making change in the outer world. So rather more we focus on the inner world. So therefore now, if you look into the inner, this is because when we look into as we just said before, when we look into the cause of this our kind of suffering that we undergo most of the time, then a lot of the sufferings is the cause is directly related to our mind, to our mental attitudes. So therefore, if we, how it is related to our mind, then we can see how if we look into our mind, then we will notice that normally, if we check inside, and then we can suppose if we have a very strong, self-cherishing mind, that is so only care about only oneself, only what is something benefit for one's own self. So when we have that, then in another word, then we will have a very strong attachment to self, and to our own strong egos, or this self-centric mind will be there. So with that strong state of mind, and then if we check that, then this can which we can see that the result in all other kind of negative state of mind, or we call it mental afflictions, other kind of mental afflictions, then that kind of arise and fills in our mind, because derived from that self-centered mind. So such as the desires, when we see perceive any desirable or any attractive object, so we immediately get attached to it, attracted to it. So there's a desire, strong desire arise. But however, if the perceived object is something undesirable, then there's an aversion for that, and then sometimes when we perceive a certain the wealth or certain the good qualities, excellent qualities of the other beings, for no reason we feel jealous for that, and then also to our own perceiving our own accomplishment or our own qualities, sometimes we inside we puffed up with a sense of like a pride. So now and pride or towards the we feel towards also sense of pride arise when we perceive some other who is who is as inferior or who is not as we are perceived as a lower than ourselves in whatever the case. So now the important thing is to check the effect of these mental afflictions. We call it mental afflictions, like such as desire, hatred, jealousies, pride, or even a competitiveness. That we a very competitive state of mind. When we fill our mind with all these kind of mental afflictions, so we go to check how we feel. So then what we feel very disturbed, very agitated, very negative, and we won't be very unhappy. So in short, and so therefore, what we can understand here, or through meditation practice, what we have to understand, to recognize is no.
All negative here, no room here. Good mind coming, no room, no place. All negative mind all pulled inside. Good mind no can, all in stop inside pulled. That's it.
So what we have to recognize is, as Geshe said, then when our mind is filled with all these mental afflictions, then there is really, within us, there is no ground, there's no room, there's no path to find, experience happiness and joy. There's no hope to bring in, to experience the joy and happiness that we're talking about, something which arises from within, and so therefore now as we go into this, all this mental affliction we generate within ourselves, and how this result in a lot of misery and suffering in one's life. Now, going to this, then if we see we will find that obviously all of this mental affliction has their own respective cause. So there's the cause may be something external, like something for the if you are there's a strong desire or a hatred, so forth. So each of these mental affliction has certain cause which can be also external. But however, the question is whether the afflictions that we cultivate, it is not something external. It is something generated, cultivated within. It is within oneself, and it is that afflictions which is really bringing one sufferings, not that object itself. It's the afflictions that which is the main or the immediate or direct cause of suffering, bringing suffering upon oneself. So therefore, it's also important to understand that to it is that not the external objects, so rather the giving rise to all those mental afflictions, and relating to all those perceived objects, which is the main cause of the disturbance of the sufferings. So from this perspective, then we look into the meditation practice, and then what it is doing, what's happening in the meditation practice. Then or what we're supposed to do in meditation practice is we have to practice is also focus on our mind, on disciplining our mind. For instance, with the practice we have to tie, tie the mind to the meditation objects, and then just to keep the mind on the objects, in simple terms, and then the practice is to with it through the various techniques. So we're trying to keep the mind in that object as long as possible. So through that, trying to acquainting or getting your mind used to sit in that specific objects, and of the meditations. And then as we will find that if you do this, if you are able to actually fix the mind on the objects, then the effect is the counteracting all those the disturbing thought or the mental agitation, or the mental afflictions, and somehow and so in this way we can see the effectiveness of meditation in calming down all the thoughts, conceptual thought, whether be it good or bad. So, but it kind of reduces all those thoughts and let the mind just rest in peace and in like a stillness with the focus on that meditation objects.
Na sono te ti parangil taba laiki dela ta ngado jera teliga se nyemo maria tiga ngado se muchi ba jegdiwa ti onge ngado shang nyemar jugundiwa ta ten jugurela soso shang nyemar juba soso ron meba ron ji nyemo jere ji sang dela te ngado pegya nin들이 제아다 말 로마데 니지 녀모들에 저서래 녀모 녀미 지간 통화래 녀미를 가데 지가 짜인 거네 세주인에 제데 맞아 제 팽팽도와 서서 너도 제바 로마 롱지 세키 제아세 때 세주라 제데 패된 내가 전부시 된대요래 그래 세 말이야 제가를 향해 말아 진주래 나 오면 정게등이 제세이 근로나 드린 거 말아 다가 있어 그냥 내가 덤바가보 때지도 덤바가보 맞대봐지 신정보야 신정보 맞아지 말아 덤바 나보 신념은 라와데 니지 근로 코레션들스 근로 코야 보드래 뭔데 아소잖아래 롤레 예비가 세지 쟁개생이서 딴데 패고하다 비 패고야 녀네 패고야 녀물 카데 잡아야 뒤패고하래 녀물 녀미 소알라 뒤패고야래 손이 세슈 맞아봐도 근데 뒤패고하래 된 노제가 다 맞아 세서 뭐지겠지 레비샤라 진주 그래로 되는 레비샤라 주마데 아랑게 세서 뭐래 소산아지 레그래로 뒤 셔버지 패고하래 맞을 때에서 맞아 뭐요 제가 채세 뭐요 집어지 팽개서 된대래신데 든 녀래 내가 집어지 된대래신데 얘네이다 손도시 대가 녀래 대가 녀래 아부 제가 녀래 아부 전부터 편도 전부 집어지 레전데 얘네라서데 집바세 시치 더 그러라 Sibase, Yenere, Jella, Kunro Masaba, Trado Masaba, Waja Masa, Dresse Mepiga, Tenigi Chibade, Son Toshi, Sony, and the current show, Lacharos, Son of Tenitona, Abuya, that Teto, the Tigger, Son of Cosaring it away. Son of Tennis says one Tigger, so the Shas, when you got, so tongue order, that yell another Zavago, Lavachera, Right, yeah, social Mandeva, come at a kid, Kundra, Yamuki Chare, sort of, Kundra San called Sazam, the kid, Yamuda Saga, called Kayama, Kiji Yamud Chare, Kozako Kundra Sazamandua. That tells the Tej, son of those staging in a Apoyada. Sending the Lola Shero, Pengesre, is that, son Teto Dang,
So, what we learn and achieve through meditation practice or through spiritual practice. So it's something which would be very, we will find it very enlightening even in our everyday life, in coping with the everyday life, in a sense like how because we learn here from this spiritual teaching that the primary source of all our these sufferings and the confusions and so forth is all is the mental afflictions or this negative state of mind which we cultivate within ourselves. We're trying to recognize this as the mental afflictions and negative state of mind as the main source. Whether we, even for our own, if we experience unhappiness on the mental level, or even, if we, whether knowingly or unknowingly, even if we undertake certain actions which are very unskillful and which are very negative, so we got to recognize, again, that also is the outcome of these mental afflictions within us. So imagine this, the impact of this, how if we, the blame everything, all the negativities, all the unwanted experience to this, to these mental afflictions or to the negative state of mind within us. So the effect in our outlook is that then we are not blaming to something else or to even to ourselves. We feel that when we will understand, we even in a situation so where we made some mistakes, and so we understand, recognize that the cause of that is not, we do not blame the cause to oneself, so rather to this negative state of mind within us. So therefore, there's no reason to actually to feel discouraged about that. And in fact, this kind of outlook, way of thinking, which then in fact it actually it's very effective in actually counteracting the mental afflictions, and then also to in order to also to prevent the hopelessness or and losing one's the courage or this spirit, and due to this such sudden difficulties that one experience. So therefore, it's as we were saying before, it's good to try to which is not which indeed is true, which is true that everything, all the negative actions or the deed that we express, even so these are all, even such small thing, like even if we in our like a facial look, in change of our facial look from something very pleasant to unpleasantness, or our verbal speech, from something very positive to something very harsh and very negative, changing into that. So these are all, we see that as in the result, as a result of this, something the negative or a mental afflictions within us. So therefore, as we understand this, then what we find is that the more we understand about our own situations, then we would have more the better understanding of the other outside peoples. So, like if we see that if we confront their person there who's showing a great hostile attitudes and very aggressive to us, then we understand this, what the person is, or this negative deeds of person is all coming or deriving from the mental affliction, such as the anger that the person's arise, person within himself or herself, and so this way somehow with this understanding we are able to make a separate the persons from the actions, action of the person, and so therefore in this way we'll be able to, it help us to, when some things goes wrong, and help us to not blame to the persons, and so in this way there's also the saying that really the sign of a good spiritual practitioners so is someone who is very showing this peace and calmness in their attitude or in their deeds. So therefore we can see how in order to express this peace and calmness in our nature, in our characters, then the only way to do that is to, from within ourselves, we have to not being under the control or under the power of these mental afflictions. So therefore it's trying to in an everyday situation, we're trying to understand that how there are times when we can be emotionally we can be very disturbed and very unhappy, and because of that, and as a result of that, of course we may not be able to function normally. Then we may do certain things which can be also very harmful to others and can be even to yourself. So when these things happens, so it's important that to recognize that, as we were saying before, the cause or to blame for all these things is this mental afflictions within ourselves, and even to saying to oneself, feeling that that how you lose your power, you know, how I become so helpless and like a powerless, you know, when this force of the mental affliction is so strong in that. And so therefore, it kind of, when you think in that way, it gives you some sort of the motivations, some sort of good reason to challenge the these mental afflictions.
That's something that is the God Yung the not over no said there, I Yung Corolla, some yet on Mogaje, Yung Corolla something said, Royade. Ra, yes, I'm a jet in the century, the Chess and California, and says that I'm under the me body in Jung, that is here, no, literally about that. Did the way about that. Mando did it, said the sure, yeah. Yes, on a carrying and down, Mando de Mao, Sala, parting, and the said June, and the bell said to a panoda. Debate is on the two. And that is a Magobal, son of the century. Ah, Devi Yellow Song don't tell us any. Selachi, Teto Ongachi, Gamma Gamma Temoji, Yongadua. Seshare, you then get in on the Vita on the Yongadua. Tata, mother, she Magua, calling us and Tomoji there. The Neda, the Mao, Tata Sal and the Sherrod to Papa Junior there. Judge Jatamasi got, then said, sit the girl. The dog was one. You don't never machine pairs one. In David on another you wouldn't get a lion. Controls, country in your dictation, Ada, country jail, they could have done Medea, Chengdua. Country here, the mother lawyer, the Yumachena, country young Medea. Country do not take on the Tarisian, the trees, and the Sando. Lo, no, no, then sure eligible cause Judge Tatabaka, Judge Tamajakan, then said the apple, no sin nigger. So sin now, then Helena, there, said Judge Tatum said sin nigger, I think, as I there, Yona, then Yona Chin do, I think of there. Yes. Thing on it, I said, shall matter, in Jung Corolla, but tell your mother, Kamachi, you there now, then Zonzol, that continue on the other, I put in with that in Jenny, that Kamakashi, then do that there.
So before we begin the short breathing meditations, so I want you to take all these important things into account. So that is it's important that you always begin the meditations with the ensuring that you feel comfortable and you physically, you fully relax, every part of your body, and then the next thing is then to put an effort to trying to empty or to get rid of all the thoughts, whether it's regardless whether the thought is good or bad, or something concerning the past or present, futures. So need to get rid of every single thought. We get rid of those thoughts, and so the idea is to doing this is to really to break this kind of the mind which we have, which is very normally we have, is which is very which has a very habit, which is unruly, and it had the habit of always wandering off after one things after another, in another objects, always chasing some objects, or always preoccupying itself, like we can, we have to understand. It's important to understand that why we have to stop all this thought is because if we do not stop this thought, then we cannot stop all the worries and all the problems or that one may be experience inside. So because we may have certain worries, because obviously if there's in the present moment, if there's certain things and events in life, certain things that happen, which can be very reminding, which can be brings a lot of stress and tensions and so forth. So it's important to then forget about all this present thoughts, present moment, and likewise we may have certain things in the past, which maybe if we think about this the past, it maybe brings some like a sadness, some like bad memories, and again this is also something that we do not want. So therefore we have to important to stop our mind from thinking of the past. And likewise there's certain if we mind think of the future, go to the future, and then how it can be unnecessarily then bringing so much problems, all for no reason or for reason. So therefore it's important to do the next thing is to just to completely get rid of all the thoughts, and then we find to the point that how suddenly we feel some sense of a peace and stillness, relaxations. When as feel relief, and we feel that. So if we feel that, then it's important to remain in that for a very little while, in that kind of experiencing that that inner peace and stillness that was outcomes as a result of preventing or stopping all the outgoing thoughts. So having experiencing that inner peace and stillness for a little while, and then we should begin the meditation here. So in which all we have to do is then to just to direct our mind on the breath, incoming and outgoing. It's not important that how long you can fix the mind there. So it doesn't, even if it is something very short period, like a minute or two, but still you fix the mind there, and also keep trying to bring the mind back to the object, and trying to train. It's like a kind of meditation. It's like a time where you are training your mind. So in here you're training your mind to really just to instead of being influenced by all the usual outgoing thoughts, so you train the mind to sit on that on the breath. So so this is what we do, and can we begin the meditation now. Thank you.
peda se shalom hataro ne ache den suje changande den changaja der se shalom hatano ne de no de.
So we continued meditation with the chanting of Buddha's mantra, and so you, as we switch the focus of the mind to the sound of the mantra, while we chant, and then but making sure that the mind focus on that, and rather than wandering off to outside objects, and as well as when we finish chanting, then again to as we in silent, so to maintain the mind within yourself as much as possible.
And page 1. Taya tawa ho muni muni maha munai soha. Taya tawa ho muni muni maha Taya tawa ho muni muni maha munai soha. Taya tawa ho muni muni maha Taya tawa ho muni muni maha munai soha. Taya tawa ho muni muni maha Taya tawa ho muni muni maha munai soha.
Yeah, that will do for meditation, and thank you for that.
No, just go let's say, then mate shit, and that la subject Changande, Changa Yat, said North Nene, Yamavata, Deon Kache, they are pushing this and that, the needs of the knee, to try and manner. That is the tongue, I wrote the road, the mother, tongue the shame, the get got Chinese, see, lecturers are cocoa, that's about common. My discipline, my throat. Yeah. I did discipline. My discipline first come here, live talking meditation.
The structure of the Wednesday night.
Meditation first. Then the second or subject, I live talking there. Then third one, Buddha and Madra, then Madra stop. There is just in mind, that's inside that. Then time I live discuss, no time then dedication. Now,
so that's the usual structure of the Wednesday night, program. So we, begin with a bit of breathing meditation and give a talk, and then the chanting of the mantras, and then after the chanting we remain in sit and do some short silent meditations, and then if there's more time there will be opportunity for question and answer, and but that is it is at my own discretion.
My discipline, my natural. Before that I did first draw meditation, second talk, third one on meditation. Then all discuss on that's Jim. I know that Tan Georgeman, try to shoot them and no.
So maybe there's a room for one question. So if you have question, you're welcome. But if you don't have, that's also fine, I think. Yeah.
I don't need a question. Maybe I don't need a question.
No question?
Yeah.
Yeah. What choice? Make it. How to treat the depression, right? Is that a question? How to overcome the depression? Yeah. They don't know they have a depression. Okay. That Geshe the depression so当时说是深度性胸阳定药了啊。No. Ma. Mi Geshe che in the depression so da ge ma sem ma kum che le. Da so je sim shu cha sem do kum ne da de gang ye nang su de de ge jo lo. Geshe gang ye nang su so de gang ye wa ha ma gong de yo les. Dan ji yo lo de Quran 오늘 depression 나서도 여버제 내가 강사 그런 게 하마고 있나 다디 그러나 하고에서 여선님도 들 편도 간다 시고랬어 그 강에서
단 걸 하면 어디에 하본데
나 거기다 그러나 네 강에 양대 depression 양해 줘라게 용된 거지 그러나 강에 요 하고 고야마다 그 강에 양대고 몰래 지고 마다 같이
강에 열을 제가 가서 돼 그걸 좀 내가 가서
나 Mi Geshe de Jorda so sa.
Ya ba de ngal kang me se go de.
Ola odis la.
Ro de khoro ngal kang me se de.
La.
Se a sho ma de. Chol kang ga du se la lo ga shang.
Re de khora de.
Se de ba.
I think the person does not like.
Yeah. What the Geshe was saying is that he understand that there are some people who actually, in real life, in personal life, they might be undergoing some depression or certain problem, right? However, they don't want to admit that, but rather they tell to others that everything is good, and they're happy, right? But they're not.
가제 강에 라면도 그랬는데 왕이네. 그래 가리나 말 강에서 거를 세주 좋아이나 가리나 이제 뭐인데 될 걸 건데 제가 그러고야.
Yeah, that's very difficult to help those kind of people because if we take their on their face level whatever they say, then we have to say that's wonderful. If they're happy, there's no problem, no suffering. We just go to say, that's admire them. That's great. best wish. But however, if they do have some undergoing, if we see that they're going certain problem, and that's Geshe says, it's not easy to help those people.
Koro kangen yuwa zai jed koro mashe a chen wote lusi chi ya ni sen duang ni sen. Kangen yuwa ro ti. Mashe mashe ba kangen yuwa den ko zai jed yuwa den mashe ba ten nya de ga de se ten kezo ngoma de la de kali khong ya de se. Ten kali khong de wa.
Particularly, there are people who actually don't want to, not just admit, actually don't want other people to know the cause, the main cause. So they want to keep that cause for themselves, and that's even then makes very hard for out of respect to that person to help that person.
Yeah. Kanga yuwa ne te tsa ne ma she ba te mo je yuwa sa te ngene yi da te. Tsa de ko la kanga ye tsa che no no chzu ro te ne yuwa me le so de.
No.
Te ne re chi sa te. Ga ri sen ne ngoma da me phe ye so go ye ne so mo ga yang ga de te ko le ngal ke je ti so. Koro te je senga me de ke te ne ba yi si ne zelo ta gojan pendo ya de bes tangi gojan pendo de ya de za koro kanga ya sema mashi be zai ga zai je de ga ben de nga no mo shi na de nga do lo so to chi gen de ya je de le wa no song le she ma de sa
No.
de choro.
So in certain situations there's also people can't tell that, because especially it is something related to crime and something to related to their personal integrity, and whatever, something very important, and so they've got a reason for that, why they don't want any other to know and then don't want to tell. So therefore, the back to the same, but for outsider to then actually to help that person, especially the at the root level. So that's almost like extremely difficult, because we don't know, and the person is not do not want to share that information here.
No. 在一个刚刚不晒线，吃东热成用我是。
No.
就是在一刚刚加一个，说吃东没问问的。
Yeah.
他见过的吃东热问的呢。
No. So So there are many areas where if people tell the whole truth, then they will go to the court, end up in the court. I mean, we do see a lot of here on the news. There's a lot of cases where people at a very elderly, age, and then facing a serious, criminal cases.
看现俺现在是刚刚俺那送个这种挺给这几些个的，这些人呢没见超动这个了是吧？没见一了，挺这我俺开始些个，挺这个在刚刚没些吧，然后就是这头啊，退休的那种个些样。
So also there's in this country you got a lot of law, like a confidential privacy law, all those things. That also plays a role too. Even if somebody's the whole situation, but you have the responsibilities to keep that information as well. Otherwise, it can would have a serious legal consequences. So if those people in such a difficult situation, if somebody you close to you and you interact, then sometimes it's not important for you to know the cause. But what's important is what you can help that person is that wherever there is a need for that person to help, even giving your time and whatever there's something obvious it's something that we can support that person. So you just extend those supports.
이제 서서라다 강한 요래를 로바송게다 조조바 대신데 향을 써야지 저러 강한 예래를 되네 저러 로바지 그건데 로바지 그건 더 자체버렸어 강한 지금 대 강한 세용건데 대조 세용건데는 이제 저거 사는 용거 말에 용생을 해야 돼. 너 때인데 양 말이죠. 답변이 버티신